Hi campers, my name's Trent. I'm the program coordinator here at Camp Chief Hector, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to appropriately pack your backpack for your expeditions, okay? So we're going to be talking about the ABCs of packing a backpack. Now the A stands for accessibility. It's very important to have key pieces of gear accessible in your backpack so you can get to them quickly if you need to. So that's things like medication, your flashlight, an EpiPen, anything like that you need to get to fast. You want those things to be accessible. So you're going to put those things into the top of your backpack, into the top pouch, okay? That's a very accessible place to make sure that you can get there quickly, okay? The B for the ABCs of backpacking stands for balance. So we're actually going to be packing the backpack here, and I'm going to show you how to appropriately balance your backpack. So the first thing to consider is that you want to have the heavier things in the middle of your backpack. So in the bottom of my backpack, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first grab my sleeping bag and put that in, okay? So I've got the sleeping bag in the bottom of my backpack. The sleeping bag is a nice light thing that takes up a lot of space, so it fills out the bottom of the pack without being too heavy. We don't want heavy things in the bottom of the backpack because that can feel like it's weighing you down when you're on trail. The next thing I'm going to grab is my tent. So that's an example of some group gear that you're going to be carrying that's quite heavy. So I want that tent to be in the middle of my pack, right on top of my sleeping bag, and as close to my back as possible. So I've got my tent packed in there. It's right in the middle of the backpack and it's right up against the back of the pack. That way it's very balanced with my body weight, and that way it doesn't feel like it's really weighing me down on trail. The next thing I'm gonna grab is my bag full of clothing, okay? So that's another thing that's nice and light and takes up a lot of space. So I'm gonna put that in there right on the top of my tent. So now my backpack's getting quite full. I've got my sleeping bag in there, I've got my group gear in the middle there, which is the tent, and then I've got my clothing on top. So again, make sure that you have that heavy thing right in the middle, okay? So I'm going to be talking about the C of packing a backpack, which is comfort. So make sure that you are comfortable wearing the backpack. You don't have things that are poking into your back. You don't want things dangling off the outside of the backpack because those things can potentially catch on a tree branch when you're walking by, and that's just going to cause problems for you on trail. So when you're packing things like your water bottle, make sure that those things aren't dangling off the outside. So I like to put them in the side pouches where it keeps them nice and secure and compact. So now I feel pretty good about my backpack. I got my things accessible, I've got my things in there balanced, the weight's in the center, right up against my back, and I don't have things dangling off the outside. My water bottles are in the side pouch. So now that I've got most of the stuff in my backpack that I need, I'm gonna take any extra little things and fill any spaces in my backpack, okay? So here I've got my sleeping bag liner that helps keep me warm at night. And I've just put that in there to fill a hole in the backpack. Generally when we're packing a backpack, we don't wanna have any spaces in the backpack. We wanna make sure we're filling those spaces with anything that we can. That way it keeps the backpack nice and balanced and there's not any big holes that will create imbalance when we're walking. So the last thing I'm going to talk about here is waterproofing your backpack. So once you've got it all packed up and you're feeling good about it, make sure that you have taken the appropriate precautions to ensure that your things stay waterproof. When we're out on trail, we don't want things getting wet because that makes things uncomfortable and cold, and we don't want that to happen to us. Okay? So there's a few different things that we can use when we are trying to waterproof our backpack. Things I like to use are dry bags. So this is an example of a dry bag that you can get at your local store, and it's a great way to keep your things dry. So I often will pack my tent, my clothes, things like that into a dry bag and then put it into my backpack. Dry bags can be a bit pricey, so another great thing to use is just general garbage bags, okay? So here we've got just a basic black garbage bag. I can put my things into this and then put it in my backpack, and that's gonna keep them nice and dry. An even better option would be a clear garbage bag. Because when I pack my things into a clear garbage bag, I can now see through it and see what's in there, okay? The last thing that I want to be using when I'm out on trail is a rain cover. So make sure that you get a good rain cover to go on the outside of your backpack. You're going to make sure that you get the right size for your backpack though. Not every rain cover is going to fit your backpack. So some backpacks already come with their own rain cover. So my backpack just down here has a rain cover just zipped up in the bottom, and that's great because it fits up to my backpack and it's stored already, ready to go. So thanks guys for joining me here. Thanks for listening and learning how to pack up a backpack. We're going to see you out on the trails, and we're very excited for summer camp.